The model that we've developed for teaching beginning readers has four main components. The first is to choose and use a good decoding program. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. You don't need to do that. There are plenty of people who have worked on this and come up with good ideas and good structured programs. And when I realized I didn't know what to do with my non-reading students, I started taking trainings in various programs. And at this point, the one I like the best is called ABC Darien. I'm going to tell you why I like it, because these are the issues you want to look at when you're selecting the program you're going to use. First of all, it's very systematic. It's logically organized. It makes sense. And I like it because it begins on the first page, teaching phonemic and phonic skills together. And the person is working with words. It's not just starting out with lots of exercises with sounds and all those kind of things. It's very efficient. It focuses on only the absolute essentials and doesn't require learning a lot of rules that can be more distracting than helpful. It develops immediate feelings of hope and success as students are taught to read and spell words by letter sounds in the first lesson and progress to sentences they can decode by the second or third day. These aren't really complicated sentences, but they are sentences. And this is really important if you've been waiting all your life to learn to read, or if you've believed all your life that you couldn't learn. ABC Darien is inexpensive, with lots of free online support, and it has excellent teacher's guides that make it an easy method to learn to use by both teachers and tutors. However, this is what I prefer, but it's certainly not the only program out there. What's most important is that you find an instructional method you feel confidence in and enthusiasm for, because you'll communicate this expectation for success to your students. The second important component of the model is to teach a group rather than one-on-one. This has been surprisingly successful. First of all, of course, it's more economical. It's a better use of teacher-tutor time, because you're always going to have some people show up. You aren't going to have a tutor sitting around waiting because their student didn't show that day. But perhaps even more important, it's more enjoyable. The class becomes a support group. It means a lot for students to be with others who've had their same life experiences. They see they're not alone, which helps to alleviate the negative feelings they've had.
Work with group is you will get like a different word, different sense. I stuck somewhere, my friend will help.
I've been to quite a few places to learn to read, but this is the best one I've been to yet. Yeah. Because I've always been to places where you learn to read one-on-one, and it did some help, gave me some help, but not as much help as a group.
Get inspiration for everybody at the table.
There you go.
You understand? When one person
one
person gets it, we want the other one to get it. You understand?
And
we don't move on until the other one gets it.
And
We
nobody's in
ain't
a hurry.
leaving nobody behind.
Nobody's in a hurry to say, well, he don't know it, leave him out of it.
Yeah.
Everybody waits
Sometimes
until
try to
he
break it
gets
down
it.
to you. Sometimes try to if you don't know the words, I try to say the words.
Because working in the group, you see someone grow, and it gives you more determination to grow. Because here's someone you saw come in, didn't even know the word the.
Yeah.
Or stop, or go. And to see this man grasp this.
Yeah.
And then he may tell you the word now. So it's like everybody is helping one another. And that's what's so good about this class. We all help one another.
You know how some people sniggle when you mess up and stuff like that. And it took a lot for me to trust somebody else.
Yeah. So you like working in a group?
Yes, it's fun. I like the people that I'm working with. We all get along with one another. We help one another. We don't make no marks one another, try to put one another, don't put our nose up and nothing like that. We're all in the same category. So who's me or anybody else to say something about that person, and you know better.
I like being in a group Because I know it's more, the group is, like a group is more helpful for me, to help me with that, whatever I couldn't pronounce. The group helps me out to pronounce the word the way the way they want to hear it. I like being with a group.
Do you think the group's helpful?
Yes, it's helpful. It's helpful for me and everybody else that in the class. It's helpful because with the group, you can understand better, more. Like maybe I'm reading a page and I can pronounce the word, but when my next classmate is next to me, I could ask, and then I will have the answer that I'm trying to stress for in this book.
Yeah.
And it's very, very helpful.
The next issue is how to select your students. I got mine 3 different ways. First of all, I got those who were unable to fill out the agency intake forms. Then I was referred students by an ABE teacher who can see easily who's not able to read well enough to be successful in their class. And some of them come to me for reading and then go to the ABE class. Thirdly, I got students from ESOL teachers who had students who could speak English but weren't learning to read as well or as quickly as the other students. Once again, some of these people come to me and continue to go to their ESL class. Once you've gathered a group of students, then you need to assess them to be able to break them down into classes that can work effectively together. This has been an issue we've been trying to solve. I was basically giving graded word lists to see if students could read any words and also how they approached words they didn't know. This was enough for me to be able to put them into groups, and also I used the ABCDarian materials. If they could read some, I could check them out in the materials to see about where they should start in the program. Then I put my groups together based on where they needed to work. The other thing that we do need to assess is vision and hearing difficulties. We need to check for problems caused by fluorescent lighting. It's been found that many adults with learning difficulties have vision and hearing problems that impede their learning. Once you've assessed your students, you want to break them down into groups of 3 to 5. And it's important to have a table where you can reach all your students' work. This is a really concrete process. So you need to be able to point to the letters a person's misreading or the part they've missed, or block out part of the word to help them figure out the rest of it and then put it together. You want to encourage your students to ask questions and also to explain how they understand something to the other students. A lot of times, one student's questions or insight is really helpful to the other students. Some of my classes work together after their class with me. This is great for forming personal relationships and just for general reading practice. It's important, though, to know, for all of us to know, that it's not helping somebody to jump in and say the word for them or take away their chance to figure it out. So this is just an important part of the teaching process. Maybe this is the place to talk about patience. My students were really emphatic about how important this is to them.
So when I started coming to this program, it was like a whole different point of life. It was like a bigger fresh air, because I had a good teacher started working with me. It wasn't nobody, all right, just sound it out. You work with it. And that's frustrating. And, like, if I could work with it like that, I wouldn't be asking you for no help. Everybody in this table saying we love the patience that she has with us.
Yeah.
You understand? Not the pushing in her. You understand?
Break it down to
Yes. She'll work with you.
Yeah.
You understand? What you don't know, she help you sound it out. She help you with the word is. Help you with the letters. Mm-hmm. We came here in this program not even knowing, half us knowing a B from a D.